What's going on, everybody? It is Brendan. The channel is Dad Planet, and you are watching The One Man Show. I feel like I need to pump the brakes a little bit on the Halloween candy. I think those of you that also have children can pretty much relate to this, but once the stomach ache settles, you and I are headed up to the Goodwill bins, otherwise known as the Goodwill outlet, and we're going to shop until we drop to see if we can find stuff very, very cheap to flip on eBay for a profit. Now, in this video, prices are kind of all over the place. Some bread and butter items priced as low as $12 to $13, all the way up to anywhere from $120 to $150, and a bunch of stuff in between. It hasn't been as fruitful, at least on the surface, at the location that I frequent the most, just because of their staffing issues. But I found enough, and I'm very satisfied, and I want to take you along for the ride. Let's see what I bought, let's see what I spent, and let's see how much money I stand to make at the end of the day. Let's get shopping. Hey, Magic 8 Ball, real quick. Am I going to make over $500 this trip to the Goodwill bins? Well, all right. That's a great sign. Put that thing. Actually, probably should have grabbed that, but anyways, put that back. So I'm going to start with hard goods this time. Usually I'm over in the shoes and the hats is usually like kind of where I go first, but let's start our footage off with hard goods here. A remote that might have had some value, but I'm going to pass up on that little guy here. So the first thing that I'm going to take here are these little matching medals from Oreo. Now, I've sold these complete before, and it's usually if you have them complete, I think there's 12 cookies and they've got little shapes on the inside of them. They sell for anywhere between $25 and $40. Now, I only have 8 complete cookies in there, and then there's a couple of extra pieces that don't have the match, but I'm going to price that aggressively at $12 because I see a lot of them selling incomplete. And so for me, really, this is somebody that I'm going to target that's just looking for a really good price. They don't necessarily need the entire thing because they don't want to spend $40 for it pre-owned. So I'll price it aggressively. It's a great bolo. It should sell in a decent amount of time, but I am targeting somebody who is looking for the best price in this instance because it's not complete. Is this the lid to the Halloween buckets from McDonald's? Like, I'm feeling like maybe I should have grabbed that. I'm going to take this guy though. This is the Jurassic Park Grab and Growl Indoraptor. It's weird because there's 73 currently listed and 50 have sold in the last 90 days, but prices are all kind of over the place. Some selling in the $20 range, some selling in the $50 range. So that's confusing, especially if you're new, where you're like, where do I price this thing? I'm gonna maybe kind of fit in the middle and price mine at $30. Like, I think I can get a sale at $30, but there's still, again, you're competing with 73 other listings, and with prices kind of going all over the place, that makes it really confusing, especially if you're a newer seller on how you should price that item. So I'm gonna put it at $30. Hopefully my pictures stand out and they sell. I love this little guy right here. So this is a vintage Jeep from Tonka. It's pressed steel and very minimal amount of rusting. It looks like it's in great condition, functioning properly. And I'm going to end up pricing this at $42. And the only reason I'm going to price it at $42 is because I saw the exact model sell for that exact price not too long ago. So I thought that was a great pickup because it's super light. And I'm looking for other Tonka like steel cars. I didn't see any. Usually you can find a couple of them together. This next thing here, there's nothing to it. Polar Care 300. It's just an air pump from Bragg. Super boring, but I think one of the reasons that my sales have been so consistent this year is because I pick up a lot of these kind of really boring, not really exciting items, and easy to photograph, easy to store, easy to list, and then easy to ship. I can do it all within a very small amount of time, and the sales are good on that item. So I'm going to price it at $20. There's 6 currently listed, but 8 have sold in the last 90 days. So it's really just a matter of time. And sure, it's not a an Armani suit, but it will sell, and boring is okay with me. So same thing here. This is a Gotham steel like temperature gauge here. There's again nothing to it. I'll probably price it really aggressive at $13. It's for one of those like induction cook things, those grills, and I'll put $13 on that. We'll make that go. All right. If you're not following the NBA this year, the Cleveland Cavaliers are expected to do very, very well. In fact, right now they're 7 wins to 1 loss interest in Cavaliers gear is going to be high, and this is vintage. This is actually pre-LeBron James from the All-Star game at Gund Arena in 1997. So while there are no active like listings or comparable solds for this, I'm going to pick this up and get it because interest in the Cleveland Cavaliers is going to be very high this year because of how well they are going to do. So I'm going to put that at $40. And then I grabbed this Mitchell and Ness vintage Nolan Ryan jersey. This is a hard style to find. It's Cooperstown collection. Now you can see there's a little bit of damage here, but these sell regularly for over $200. So what I'm looking for here is somebody who wants a little bit of a better price and is willing to overlook the damage. So I'm going to price this at $85 and take that home with me. Again, targeting someone that just wants a little bit of a better price and is willing to kind of overlook whatever is happening on the front of the jersey. It's not much damage, but it is damage nonetheless. So price will be a factor there, $85 on that one. And then shout out to the gentleman that gave me this shirt. I wish I had asked for your name and I didn't, and I apologize. So this is a Dale Jr. Pit Crew shirt. It's Diet Mountain Dew is like the main sponsor on the front there. There's a couple that have sold in the $50 range, but because I have a 3XL right there, I'm going to price that thing at $70 and maybe we'll field some offers. But right now, really, with everything I've got in my cart, I've got over $400 worth of items. And look at this is foreshadowing right here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't wear hats that often, but I feel like maybe I should have picked that up. This channel is Dad Planet. You guys know how it goes. But anyway, we're over $400. We're doing well. I'm going to pass on that Browns hat. I don't even know what this hat is here. If it was worth $1 million, I hope somebody else grabbed it because I didn't take the time to look it up. Sometimes I get lazy. And we're going to keep moving along here. I do find a hat or two coming up that I like, and I'll explain why I pick up the ones that I do pick up here in a second. Is that Olaf? Yeah, it was like had a fuzzy front to it, kind of cute here. Hilliard, that's a local school. There's no value on that one here. But this right here, this is a Marker, Del Bello, and Volk hat. Sporting goods manufacturers here. We got tie-dye. The style on this hat is five panel. It's a snapback. I'm going to price this at $35. You know, ski gear, some of the things that they focus on is extremely expensive. That's an expensive sport. I don't think anyone's going to have trouble paying $35 for this, especially if they're trying to like match their purple outfit. You can see that it's purple marble tie-dye. So their hats sell for $35 brand new. I don't think there's going to be much of a problem listing that at $35 and seeing if we can capitalize on a sale there. But at 50 cents, maximum, certainly worth the risk. So we'll try that one here. And, Swiss Gear, this might be a $10 hat. In fact, I think you can get it for $10 brand new on their website, but some people don't like going to the manufacturer websites. They just like shopping on eBay. So there's a lot of things that I've sold for a higher price that you could have gotten on their website for a lot less money. This right here is a split bar hat from the game. It is the Ohio State University. As you can see, that color is very strange. It's like not red, not pink, and it's not faded. I don't know what's going on there. So I think price-wise, we're going to have to put that at $20. Actually, I think the Ohio State University tried to trademark the word "the," which makes me laugh, and they were denied by the trademark court. But yeah, $20 on that hat, and we'll see what happens. So next thing I'm going to grab here is this pink Victoria's Secret dog pillow. Now, if you look at Terapeak and you're looking at the average sales price of some of these pillows, they are extremely expensive. They sell for a great dollar amount. This is the tag's missing there, and there are no sold comps for this exact model, but I'm thinking minimum $50 for that, just based on the research that I did. And I feel like that was a really good find. This I've never seen before. It's called an Animal. And is it a Stegosaurus? I'm not really up to date on my dinosaur lingo. I think it's a Stegosaurus. Very weird. And, not a fast seller, but I'm going to price that at $35 just based on the other dinosaurs that I've seen sold for that brand. This is Bullseye, obviously, from Toy Story, but I don't think he's got any value. So just those couple of plush right there alone, I'm pretty satisfied. Minimum $50 for that pillow, and then $35 again, I think is fair based on recent comparables for the Animal brand, which I've never heard of. And again, if you see anything here that I may have missed, feel free to call it out because we are all here to learn. But I'm not really seeing anything else here that looks like it's going to work. Some of this stuff is like the giveaways that you would get at like Dave & Buster's or whatever, the bunch of turning in a bunch of tickets, real low value type stuff. So move over to the shoes. I can't remember. Oh, I do remember now. So if it's Papilio or Papillo, this brand is owned by Birkenstock, and some people might not know that. And if you look really close at the leather, and luckily I found the pair there, and again, this is all picked over, the leather is in really nice condition. The wedge is also in nice condition. Then we flip it over. Other than like maybe a little bit of wear on the heels, these are in really spectacular condition. They're a woman's 40, which I think is a size 9. And lucky for me, I think those are worth $60. So that's where I'm going to price those at. And if you didn't know that that was a Birkenstock brand, now you know. And I feel like those were just sitting there because a lot of people weren't aware of that. Well, now you know. Sandals I'm not really excited about. Moving into winter, I'll grab slides, because slides are easy to sell at $12 to $15 pre-owned that I get from the bins. So I will grab those, especially since they're very, very light. But on the brand Skechers, I'm going to probably leave those behind. So they didn't roll any shoes out for the entire trip or time that I was there. So that was the best I could do on shoes. And clothing, I haven't really been too terribly excited about at the bins here lately. But I do like this jacket for a number of reasons. So Armani, obviously this is a woman's blazer size 14. It's very basic, and you can't really get excited when you find Armani anymore just based on the list to sell ratio on eBay, because there's lots listed and not a lot are selling. And again, this is pretty basic, but the things that I like here are it's 100% authentic, one, and it's extremely well made. I think Armani is still in enough favor that I will sell this. No, it's probably not going to sell for $200. I will most likely list this between $50 and $60, leaning towards $60, and I might be able to push it to $100. But are people really paying $100 for Armani blazers that are this basic on eBay? I'm not really sure based on what I see. So $60 is the most likely landing spot price-wise for this, but it's well made. It has held up. It was in excellent condition, and for those reasons, I'm going to take it. It might take a little bit longer to sell just because it really is just a basic blazer. And I might learn something along the way doing a little bit more research that would indicate that it's worth a little bit more, like maybe finding an exact style that I haven't found yet. But we're going to land probably at $60 on that. And really, there were no other exciting clothing items to find here. So kind of happy with everything that I do find. We'll total everything up here in a minute. This little guy was in the video and I forgot to mention him. So right now I'm just about to wipe it down. So this is the Paw Patrol My Size Lookout Tower. It's probably the 10th one that I've sold this year. I don't think I've sold one for under $120. I don't have any of the cars that go with it, but I want to mention something for those of you that don't like shipping large items. Even if you can get these little bottom ramps off of it, each one of these sells for like maybe $10. You have to kind of pay attention to if they've got the screws or not. You don't necessarily need them if you're going to sell them, but if you wanted to part these out, they do sell. And at $10 a pop, there's 6 of them here. I mean, that would be an easy kind of $60 to make too. Now, one of the other things I want to mention about this too, and it's already been tested and working, but this top does come off if you wanted to make shipping a little bit easier. But one of the things you got to watch also on these guys here is this little door, sometimes they don't latch and it won't shut. So you've got to kind of watch that here. This one locks really nicely, but every now and then you'll find one and this thing just will not lock. It's kind of cumbersome and you do want to pay attention to that. But really, again, if you don't want to ship big items, just take these pieces off and sell them for $10 a pop. All right, if we total everything up, I only spent $30.24, and my listed value for everything in this video comes to $707. So that was a pretty good haul once again. I will have updates to the Dad Planet website, Bolo Planet with all of the wholesale lots. This is the one-man show, and because I do not have employees, sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to get to some of those things than it would if I had people working with me or working for me. So thank you for your patience on that, and thank you to everybody that has ordered your wholesale boxes. I really appreciate that as well. Brendan here, Dad Planet, the one-man show. Hit that like button if you liked what you saw or you learned something today, and then always consider becoming a member of the Dad Planet family by subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon so that you know every single time I upload a video to YouTube. That's all I have for you today. I thank you once again, and we will see you in the next video.